Alright, and it's a bit darker, but welcome. In today's episode, we're going to be going over pretty much the contents of the Resident Evil Showcase. Resident Evil Villagers Showcase. Now, a lot went into those, and I do plan on doing some tier maker lists, such as every playable character, which I am unfortunately going to tell you is over 45 characters. Probably like around the 48 margin. In between 45 and 80 for sure. So without further ado, let's just hop right into the first one, the third trailer for Resident Evil Village. Then we'll go into the reverse short trailer, and then we'll just go into the gameplay, and then we'll just kind of take it from there, shall we? Alright. Right, here we are jumping into the Resident Evil Village third trailer. I'm so excited to watch this for like the sixth time. Maybe. Oh, what's going on here?
Hey now, think positively, all right? We talked about this.
I know. We hardly talk about anything else.
I hope there's a small part at the beginning of the game where you can just be Ethan roaming around your and Mia's household.
Heralds danger. The bell tolls for us all. They're coming again.
Mother Miranda, I regret to inform you that Ethan Winters has escaped that fool Heisenberg. Because he is in my castle and has already proven too much for my daughters to handle. When I find him... No, Mother Miranda. Yes, of course, I understand the importance of the ceremony. I won't let you down.
Mother Miranda is.
Can someone please tell me what the hell is going on here?
No. The place is full of nothing but blood and death.
It's interesting to note that everything they're showing you right now, I'm pretty sure is in the demo. The hall, that area, the room with the soldiers, the cellar, almost a prison encampment, that door.
Well, Ethan Winters. There you are.
Wait.
Who the fuck are you?
Let's see what you're really made of. Ethan Winters.
I forgot about him. May 7th, man, I can't wait. Oh. Man, this game's gonna be great. Great AF, dude. Alright, we're back with the reverse trailer in this house. This cartoony comic book. Not bad by any means. Make 3 Jill. I don't know what was 2 players, Leon and Jill. Oh, exploded into Nemesis. Or the Jack Baker. Rex and Nemesis. Punk Ada. So I'm assuming all of those characters will be a part of that mode. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, don't worry, we're not watching the rest of this video. We're just gonna go over the gameplay portion. Pause that.
Now we're here to give you an exclusive first look at Resident Evil Village gameplay. Just like in Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, you'll be taking control of Ethan Winters.
It's a
You'll
good
make your
name.
way from the village to the castle. Players will need to get in and search for their kidnapped daughter. As you've noticed by now, Resident Evil Village keeps the first-person perspective. We think it really draws players into the detailed world we've created.
Still doesn't mean you need to hide his face. I'm just gonna say that. It's a
You'll see
gorgeous
a lot of those little
backdrop.
details come to life here. The team put a ton of effort into creating a truly authentic feel. From art design to technology, everything ties in great and creates some beautiful visuals. Now it's time to meet some of the castle denizens. As you'd expect, a warm welcome's not really what's in store for Ethan.
His poor legs. Well, at least this time he's actually in adequate clothing for this adventure instead of
Now, let's take a look at him.
almost a business-like
Wow.
outfit.
Well, Ethan Winters. You escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you? Let's see how special you
No.
are.
Idiot Brothers Games. Is that the guy with the top hat?
Shifting gears a bit, we're finally going to show off some combat. It's not just about shooting. Guarding will also be an important part of the game.
So I can get a look at those great hand animations. I get you.
Each type of enemy has their
Oh my
own
God.
distinct way of fighting, so you'll need
That
to change up your strategy.
Big executioner-like man, dude. He got sworn
Everyone knows
happy.
what to do with red barrels, right?
Okay, did that red barrel even hurt
Some of
anyone?
you will remember a similar
Yeah, I just want to point that out. He shoots the red barrel. Once the guy's gotten super close to him, and there's another guy that's looks like he's just a bit out of proximity. So it almost looks like that red barrel explosion literally affected no one in that entire radius. What was the point of shooting it? I don't know. And as you can see here, the great, lovely management system from Resident Evil 4 is returning with the grid. I just really hope this means they're not getting rid of boxes. I really want there to be boxes, because that's the most annoying thing about Resident Evil 4. You buy something without realizing you don't have enough space for it, so you wasted money on an item you can't even bring with you, and it's gone forever. You can't collect it at any point later either. It's just gone along with your money.
management system in Resident Evil 4. This time around, we've added crafting, which allows you to create items such as first aid and ammo. There's also an assortment of weapons to find and utilize throughout the game.
I've been waiting for you, Mr. Winters.
How do you know my name?
Anyone who is anyone has heard of the likes of you.
The merchant makes a return. This time he's known as the Duke. You'll be going to him to buy and sell weapons, amongst other things.
exactly like the original
The
version.
director wanted to give him a unique look, and you'll often find him in different situations each time you encounter him.
Makes me think they're getting rid of
He's an interesting
regular
fellow.
upgrades scattered around the world, like there was in 7. Maybe getting rid of the coin system too.
Smash away with your trusty knife. There's plenty of items to find in your travels. Wait, do you hear that? And we've also got extra objectives outside of the
Oh
main.
no. Poor little goat.
Of course, it
Rain.
goes without saying that there'll be plenty of puzzles to solve for players to move forward. Oh, and
Oh, what is that?
plenty of surprises to keep you on your toes.
That looked like something from The Evil Within.
Open fan in a while. Let me string you up, slice your jugular, and just watch.
Very Marguerite-esque are these moth ladies. That was definitely in the
That's
same
one way to end the video.
area as the demo,
Now that we've shown you what's in store for Resident Evil Village,
which is about the point too. But yeah, we don't have the demo. You know, we don't have a PS5. If I ever get a PS5 before this game comes out, you bet your ass I'm gonna play it along with whatever demo they release for all systems. But so there's that. Okay. So now that we've seen the trailer, the reverse trailer, and the gameplay demo. Not the gameplay demo, the gameplay showcase, whatever, you know. So the demo was perfect. It was great. You know, it shows Chris being Chris. Why did he kidnap the baby? What does he have to do with the BOW vampires? And you know, Mia's still a mystery. Who's the other mystery girl? What's Emily? What's her play? Is she like Louise from Forge? Kind of in her area? Like, is she from there? Then you have Reverse, which just looks like a fun little extra multiplayer mode for those who already own the game. So, you know, I'm down for that. Playing as Leon and Claire in a comic book cell shady, like, graphically fun mode. Seems like something that'll be fun. I just hope they keep it more basic than Resistance, because Resistance is one of those games where, you know, if you've got to invest time to enjoy it after a pro. What are you doing, Loki? You have to invest time into it to get anywhere, really. Especially to have a lot of fun with it. Nope. Stop. Control my cat over here. Anyway, yeah. So it's definitely one of those things where you have to invest a lot of time into it in order to get better at it, to have more fun with it, to have more prolonged fun with it. And so by the time you join in, if you're joining in a month late, you're gonna have a lopsided time getting into it. So I hope Reverse kind of is a little more simplistic and a lot less like that, to where anybody can jump in at any point in time and have a fair shot. You know, but have some perks for those who stick with it. Just not perks enough to make it game breaking or game ruining for newer players, like Resistance kind of is. And then just in general complaints. Okay, Movie Maker, nice little ring ding there. But there's a vocal, I don't know if it's a minority or if it's half. I will say this, from what I noticed, the vocal people who typically hate on 7 and 8 specifically, 5 and 6 discounted, you know, even some of the newer players hate those games as Resident Evil games, but enjoy them as games to play with friends. You know, I love them for both Resident Evil games and games to play with friends. But the vocal minority or whatever who hate on 7 and 8 are hating on it for almost the same reasons. The reasons people hated 7 for being a Resident Evil game are almost the same reasons people are picking on 8. One, the BOW of the game. They're taking it at almost face value. Especially more so with 8 than 7, because with 7 it was just a molded looking creature. But that was like almost the only enemy variant they had in the game. Right? You had like 3 or 4 different molded creatures. They all looked relatively the same in different sizes. So there was a big issue with that one. But the boss fights in 7 were great. All of the fight with Jack Breaker, Marguerite, even the DLC one with Jack, and the DLC one with Lucas, they're all fun boss fights. I will say probably the worst one out of the bunch was probably the first Jack fight, which makes sense because it's the first one, or the Lucas one. Not to take away from Lucas or anything, but you know, the second fight with Jack in the Butcher Room was fantastic. The boss fight with Jack is the last one in the main game. Is hard as hell. Marguerite one is atmospheric and fun, challenging, and I guess I lied. The worst boss fight in the entire game is Evelyn, but her thrown aside, I mean, it's. I guess you should say Evelyn's boss fight is more of a set piece than anything. It's a nice looking set piece at that. But no, if you were to count it as a boss, it's probably the worst boss fight in the entire game. And I'd have to say the best one is either Marguerite or Jack in End of Zoe. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked with a whole other thought. Yeah, no, but and the other thing aside from I guess the enemy, you know, is the first person mode. People can't get over the first person mode for some reason. It's like, why can't a Resident Evil game be in first person? If the game series was almost intended to be first person to begin with in the very, very beginning, but switched it because of limitations, why can't it evolve into what it was almost to start with? It makes sense to me that a first person should be considered. Don't dish third person, obviously, but don't discount first person. And the other thing I see with 8 a lot is so dumb. Vampires and werewolves? Is this what Resident Evil's become? You should have just named it something else. It's like, what? Why can't BOWs turn people into vampire-esque creatures? Why can't a virus have affected people in this sort of way? Why can't a virus mutate somebody into a wolf-like creature? Essentially, why can't a virus turn somebody into a werewolf? Right? If you can have zombies, tyrants of all kinds, pretty much, your Las Plagas, your Ouroboros, you know, your Sea Strain in 6 with all the freaking variants of not zombies, but all the variants of creatures in that game are so much more diverse and just out of the box weirder than vampire-like creatures and werewolves. This is pretty tame compared to Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6, to be honest with you. It just boggles my mind that people consider them vampires, like strictly vampires, like they're vampires on their own. Or that these people were born as werewolves on their own. Like a virus didn't affect them to make them that way. It's Resident Evil. Of course, there's going to be some virus outbreak that affected these people to turn them into that. Like Evelyn, you know, was an experiment. She was infecting and parasiting, essentially a parasite, finding hosts to control to create a family in her vision. It just boggles my mind. I know for 7 I had a hot take, and now for 8 I have my hot take. 8 is as much as a Resident Evil game as any other game in the series, in the franchise, whatever. Right? What you draw the line at vampire-like creatures and werewolves, but all the way back in the beginning, you had spiders and giant snakes, and then they made Lisa Trevor in the remake with Crimson Heads, along with hunters. You had hunters in that game too. You had a giant plant monster. You had a shark as well. And then in 2, you have a giant alligator that people fought for to be in the remake. And again, you had your spiders and whatnot else into, along with William Birkin and his offsprings of stuff, not to mention the tyrants and nemesis. The Reapers in the first game as well. Like, why are known creatures, known archetypes like vampires and werewolves alive when they're not that much out of the realm as stuff they've done in the past? Hell, Wesker essentially wanted to become a vampire, become immortal, have all those super cool abilities. Wesker wanted to be a vampire. There's no doubt about that. Anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough. Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 are both Resident Evil games through and through. Like, they have the core factors that make a Resident Evil game a Resident Evil game, even if you don't like it because it's not pure zombies and tyrants. Right? So I hope you have a great day. Remember, you can be the best you can possibly be. Let me know what your thoughts are on Resident Evil 8 or even Resident Evil 7 for that matter. If you like the video, like, comment, share, super special, awesome, subscribe if you haven't. That'd really me out. And tata. Ain't that right? Yeah. You want to say bye? No, you want to bite me. He doesn't want to say bye. It's okay. It's okay. He's camera shy. Aren't you, puppy? Ta-ta. For now.